Applying Mars updates. All right. When we convert your system or bring you on as a new client, we do the initial application installation for you or in partnership with your IT department. And what we do is we install the Mars database server. We create the directory structure on the server, and we create what's called an initial installation image, which is basically the setup program then for all of the workstations. Okay, and by default, this is stored in the Cainsoft Mars install directory on your server, and we try and be very, very consistent with this. Just because we like to know where everything lives on everybody's servers. So once we do the initial install, you can then be applying all of the updates yourself. And it's really quite simple to do. And basically what you do is you download the latest version from our FTP site, and I showed you where that was a moment ago, and you'd save the setup file on your desktop, okay? And so you could go to Help, Program Updates and Downloads to get the latest version, all right? You would run the setup and update the installation image on the server. And then, so what happens is then once this installation image has been updated, all of the other workstations that are on the network that have Mars installed will automatically get the new version the next time a user opens the Mars application. And I'll show you how this works. As a note here, I have a note that it's a good idea to apply your updates from the same workstation. Meaning that there are certain fields there that are stored in the system registry, such as your server name, the port number, the default installation directory, and things like that. And it just keeps you from having to key in additional information. So I'm going to now perform a server image installation. I'm then going to run the Mars program, and I'm going to show you how it detects the new version and how it picks it up. And then finally, we're going to go and delete the Mars application, and we're going to do a fresh installation. Okay? So let me minimize all of this stuff here on the desktop, and I am going to now install. I'm installing the server image for version 4.08R. Okay, and you see it's putting it on my shared on my server under Cainsoft Mars install. So I'm going to click next, and here is the point where it is a good idea to have to continually do your updates on the same workstation, because if you'll notice here, it doesn't have my server address. So I'm going to type Cainsoft server, which is the name of it's the machine name of the server where the Mars database is installed. Okay, I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to go to the next setting here. And the default installation path, I'm going to make C program files, Cainsoft Mars. Okay, check for typos, no typos. I'm going to say OK, and next, next, next. And we're done. Okay, so now I'm going to run my Mars application. Yes, it installed correctly. There we go. I'm now going to run my Mars application just like a user coming into the office in the morning, and it says, look, the Mars automatic update kicked off. You were on version Q. We've noticed version R. Would you like to update the application? Go ahead and say yes. And voila, if we go down here to Mars, you see we're on 4.08R, which was released today, the 17th of August 2010. So installing the Mars patches, you do not have to go around to each of the individual workstations. All we have to do is update an image of the installation on the server, and it'll then automatically migrate its way down to all of the users. So I'm now going to go in here, and we are going to discuss installing Mars on a workstation. And it's very, very simple. It's very, very simple. All you've got to do is go out onto your server into the Cainsoft Mars install directory and double-click the install.exe program, okay? And you will also, the first time you will run Mars after it's been installed, you're going to get a window that looks like this, and it's going to ask you for your server name. It may not do this on my system in this demonstration because my server is already called Cainsoft server. But if your server is some IP address or something like that, when you see this box, all you have to do is type in your server name or the IP address of the server where the Mars database is. So I'm going to go ahead here, and I am going to delete my Mars installation. I am now going to go out to the Mars network drive into install, and I'm going to run install.exe. And it gives me my default directory of where it's going to be installed, C program files, Cainsoft Mars, which I recommend that you keep to that notation. Click next. Click next. Run the program, display an icon on the desktop, sure. Say done. And here we go. A new installation of Mars. It's very, very simple and very straightforward. So once we get the initial server set up and the directory structure set up, really applying patches and things like that is virtually painless. Getting help. Okay. The first line of defense on help is obviously check your data and make sure that your accounts are properly coded, things like that. Most of the time, and I'm not saying that we never have bugs or never have issues or anything like that. Every software has bugs, and there's always that magic combination of something that propagates to something else. But over 90% of the time, it is data, and it's potentially. A goofy piece of data comes into the system, perhaps something gets fat-fingered, whatever it may be. But please take a look at your data first, okay? If you're having Excel issues, we've got multiple products on the market besides Mars. We've got stock trib. We've got a GIPS verification extract that we do with Beacon verification services. And one thing that we've found is that all clients' Excel is not created equal. There are a lot of add-ins out there. Add-ins for Goldmine. There's add-ins for Adobe Acrobat. There's add-ins for FactSet. There's add-ins for Bloomberg. All of this stuff, and we really have very, very little control over that stuff. So a lot of times these add-ins will make your Excel act goofy. Okay, normally rebooting a computer will take care of these things. But I would like everybody to be aware of all of the stuff out there that that is automatically installed and linked into your Excel system without you knowing it, because it really has a significant impact on the performance of your Microsoft Excel and of the reporting, and especially when we start talking about batch processing and things like that tomorrow. If it's taking 30 seconds to load your add-ins, you're going to have a miserable time with batch processing. Check our online help. I've got to tell you, creating good help is almost more difficult than creating the application itself. Because every time we build something, the help gets out of date. But anyhow, with this next version of Mars that we're going to be releasing to you shortly, we're going to have a complete help system. And just like with when you guys are requesting new functionality, like can you do split benchmarking? Can you make it do this? Can you create a report like that? I would also like you guys to be proactively commenting on the quality of the help and on the quality of the training. And if you need something and it's going to be beneficial to you, we will build it for you. Okay? We want everybody to be happy, and ultimately we would like all of our clients so that for the most part they can empower themselves to get the proper information that they need and to be able to run their system. So that's only going to help us down the road bring on more clients in a more cost-effective manner. So documentation is under help documentation. I would request that once everybody is on this version of the software, you start emailing us through the Mars application as opposed to through bob@cainsoft.com. I've made a huge investment in hiring employees, and I want to make sure that they are doing their fair share and learning about Mars and learning about the clients and the issues that are in this application, and not just doing some of these small programming projects for me. So the whole idea of sending the emails to support@cainsoft.com is so that everybody on my staff can get involved with what's going on a support basis with the Mars product. I really want to get all of this out of my inbox because I am a bad conduit for this whole procedure. I've got some very, very smart young guys, and they need to be brought into the fold here. I'm not the only one who has the knowledge here.